All right, good morning everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Today's video is going to be about awakening from narcissistic abuse, which for me has been one of the most eye-opening experiences and probably hardest things that has ever happened to me. And I just wanted to share some things that you can expect to if you're currently going through this process, to maybe help give you some clarity, confirmation, and just some comfort really, and some peace of mind, and just knowing that whilst experiencing some rumination and some thoughts along those lines, that you're not in fact losing your mind and you're not going crazy. So how will you wake up to narcissistic abuse? So for me, I woke up to narcissistic abuse after having been raised in a dysfunctional family. So I woke up after relocating away from the narcissistic parent. So as soon as I got away from the environment, with the narcissistic parent, I experienced a massive awakening. And at the time, I didn't actually know what I was going through. So I was experiencing really low energy, like to the point where my energy was so low that I actually thought something was wrong with me. And I'm a relatively fit and healthy person. I'm pretty active. I work a physical job. I play sports. So I thought something was actually wrong with me, right? And so I actually went to get, this is crazy looking back, but this is in January 2024, so about a year and a half ago. And I actually went to go and get a sleep study done to see if there's something wrong with my sleep, because I just couldn't add up what was going on. I also got some blood tests done. The blood test came back and confirmed everything was fine. The sleep study came back and pretty much confirmed there was a few minor little things, but all in all, it wasn't anything to do with the point of needing an oxygen mask to sleep at night or anything like that. So I was pretty much fine, and physically I was pretty much just all the same as I've always been, essentially. And so what happened was, looking back, I experienced the massive come down after having experienced such a high amount of abuse. So narcissistic abuse in particular being mainly psychological abuse, and just manipulation, control, really just trying to dictate the outcomes of my life and push me in directions to where it ultimately benefits the narcissistic parents and keeps me dependent upon them. So instead of becoming an independent person and moving on with life and just doing the things that you're meant to do and becoming the person you're meant to become, right? They wanted to keep me codependent on them. And so after having, I've just made some notes, sorry, so I'm just looking down just so I don't forget too many things. So and so I will say too, just before awakening from narcissistic abuse, I actually owed my narcissistic parent, some finances, right? And so once I had paid the finances back to them, and I no longer owed them anything financially, I actually felt spiritually, and I just felt a lot lighter. I felt as though I'd actually broken some cords, broken some change, spiritually. It's really hard to explain, but I actually felt as though once I had paid them back, I was no longer a slave to them. So I felt like I'd broken the chains, and now I was finally sort of free, and I could just do what I truly wanted to do and whatever I wanted to do, right, with my own life. And so after having done that was in August of 2023. So that was just before I'd relocated away from the narcissistic parents. And then basically once I'd relocated, I was experiencing low energy and just wondering what in the heck's going on with myself. And yeah, it was just what it was. It was just a come down after experiencing such a heavy and a large amount of abuse over such an extended period of time. And at the time, I didn't know that, but later now, and even 6 months ago or even a year ago, I sort of realized 3 to 6 months into that process. And then when I came to that realization, I decided to go no contact, with the narcissist parent. And I've been no contact for 1 year, broke contact once, just quickly, but been no contact. And ever since going no contact, life has pretty much, in all areas along my healing journey, has gotten better. So it's been hard too, like trying to break the trauma bond and different things like that. But also too, it was, very necessary, and I believe God is sort of helped me. I've kept my eyes on Him. And if you're going through the process yourself, definitely keep your eyes on the Lord. Pray, fast, try and deny the flesh, and just really hearken unto the Lord. Read the Bible, get into prayer, get into the Word. That's something that's helped me, dramatically through the process of having awakened from narcissistic abuse. So that brings me to the next point, which is, so when you'll go through a lot of rumination, like I have as well, and you'll kind of wonder, should I go back, or should I do certain thing, because obviously, it's not like it was just all bad all the time, right? But it's very, very tough, and it's very difficult, during the process to, not go back, because of, obviously, especially being raised by your parents and whatnot. Even if they are dysfunctional, you still obviously care for them, you still love for them, right? And it's not exactly an easy process, and it's not something that you necessarily want to do, but staying on the walk with the Lord, it's just something that is required, to get to our next destination, and to just ultimately move closer towards our higher purpose for the Lord, and to get to where we need to go, right? So because the narcissist is a gatekeeper spiritually, so you need to cut cords with the narcissist spiritually, because they are a gatekeeper. They're like a blockage between you and God, right? So if you keep contact with the narcissist, it's very, very difficult to have a relationship with God, and to keep that connection with God really, really, really good and really healthy and really strong. At least that's my experience anyway. So basically, going no contact with the narcissist, that's something that you can expect in the process after having awakened from that type of abuse. You can try low contact, you can try that, but ultimately the narcissist wants to overstep your boundaries. If you set boundaries, they hate boundaries. So the narcissist just wants to get to you and get back into your life any way, shape or form, as much as they can, right? So which is something that for myself, I didn't want to happen. I don't believe the Lord wanted to happen, and I believe it'd possibly be the same for you. So, but definitely take it to the Lord, pray, and He will give you confirmations, because the Lord is not an author of confusion. He's the Lord of clarity and peace and love. So that's important to do too. The narcissist, when you do go no contact with them, the flying monkeys and all the people surrounded by the narcissist, they're gonna try and influence you to try and question yourself, and to try and get you back enmeshed with the narcissist. And they're going to do that in various different ways, but it's something that again, you just need to really take to the Lord and really pray about it, and really just take your time on these things, because I'm sure the answers will be different in every scenario is unique. Every circumstances are not the same, but ultimately with narcissistic abuse, the tactics from the enemy, they're all the same. They're all the same game. They all you know, have the same thing in common with each other, right? So yeah, this is just wanted to make this video today about, you know, part of the awakening process from narcissistic abuse. It was probably all over the place, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I hope it was helpful. If there was anything here that resonated with you or that was helpful, please just drop it in the comments. Let me know. I do appreciate all the likes, comments, and yeah, it's truly a blessing for me to get those, and so I really appreciate it. And with all that said, God bless. I hope everyone has a great day. Peace out.